Welcome to Permission to Be Human, the podcast. I'm your host, Mel Finlater, mother, coach, and curator of Permission to Be Human, the company and community. If you're a mom, know a mom, or want to be a mom, and you crave getting out in the world to make a difference, then you're in the right place. This is a space for moms like you to connect with yourself, your purpose, and your big, audacious dreams. Because when you feel your best, you can better you, your family, and the wider world. Let's do this. Hey everyone. Today is me getting a little bit raw and vulnerable with you because I came to the biggest realization this morning, and I'd really love to share it with you because I feel like other people will identify with this part of this journey into mothering that I'm on. And so today we're going to talk about being mom and what that's been like, and this realization that mothering is actually what we need most. So I started writing this bio today for a course that I'm part of, and I wrote it in a way that I've never done before. I really leaned into this concept of mothering. So I started it off with I'm Mel, I'm mom of 2 kids, mom of a dog, mom of a cat, mom of friends, mom of the earth. And then it led from there, and it started to make me realize that mothering is in fact a really big part of my identity. You see, my journey into motherhood and figuring out how and where that fits with my identity has been a really bumpy one. I was so afraid that it would be all-encompassing and that I would lose a part of myself. And then my first child came along, and after a bumpy start with a pretty traumatic birth, I started to come into my own. For a while there, I honestly felt like I was born to be a mom. And I was so proud of my ability to still be me during that process, to take her to the cafes and meet with clients and coworkers, and to build the business and community that I was creating at that time. It was, that first couple of years was really magical. And then I had my second child, who feels big in all directions and who needed a lot of me. And the needs of having 2 kids hit me like a brick. Suddenly in a country far away from my family support network, with a husband who was at work for long days, I lost me. Or at least that's how it felt. And there were many moments, and still are, where it wasn't possible to meet the needs of both my kids and me at the same time. So guess whose needs got pushed aside? Me. And even then, it often felt like I wasn't doing enough, like I wasn't enough. And you know what years of doing this resulted in? It kills me to say it, but resentment. Not of my kids, not of my husband, but of the system, the way the story was playing out, the fact that I never planned or wanted to be a stay-at-home mom, but once I had kids, I didn't want them to go to daycare all day long at such a young age. So the only solution to that I could think of was to stay home. And don't get me wrong, I had some absolute glorious times because of it. I got to witness things that so many parents don't get to with their children. I am so grateful for the time I've been able to have with them. And I resent the fact that the world is set up in a way that means that to get these things, the only way I could see was to put my needs aside. And the shame I have had for feeling any of this has dug deep into my soul. Pushing it down for so long has resulted in rage bubbling underneath the surface and creeping out, and then getting pushed back down because it's just not acceptable. Can you relate? I've talked to a lot of moms who I think can. And today is a really interesting day for me because today is the day that I fully realize that it is not motherhood that I resent. It is something so much bigger. It is the unfairness that comes with it. It is the inequalities of womanhood and motherhood, the system, the patriarchy, the villageless society. As Glennon Doyle frequently talks about, I'm the cougar, tamed in a cage, who is aching to be wild and free. But the cage isn't motherhood or womanhood. It's the culture and the norms and the status quo and. So today, when I went to write this bio, the most interesting thing ended up coming out. I leaned into mothering, being who I am, and my strong belief that it is in fact mothering that will get us out of this mess. As I did this, I felt this new feeling arise. Pride. I'm proud to be a mom, and I am proud that I like mothering others. It is when I was able to shift the word to mothering as a verb that I felt connected. My role is to mother my kids, my family, my community, other moms, the earth. And in order to do any of this, I need to mother myself. When I birthed my children, they were the start of a much bigger journey into connecting with my true identity and purpose. Mothering is taking care of self and others. The self bit was missing for so long, which is why the resentment kicked in. But how do we shift our culture and shift the reality for others in this position? How do we actually change this? We do it with mothering instinct. Mothering is noticing. Mothering is feeling. Mothering is bringing the warm cup of tea to the person who is so busy mothering others that they forget to drink. Mothering is friendship. It's love. It's empathy. It's togetherness. Mothering is what the world needs more of, and not at the sacrifice of ourselves. Mothering is seeing the best in people and helping them see it too. And this is why the phrase that I constantly come back to when creating my business is that I believe that it's moms that can and will change the world. Perhaps they just simply need someone to make them a cup of tea first. So I'll leave you with those thoughts for now, for you to reflect upon. What is your journey into motherhood been like? And what, if anything, shifts when you think about mothering as a verb and not a role? I'd love to hear your thoughts. That is it, folks. This has been Mel Finlater on Permission to Be Human, the podcast, and I am so glad that you have joined us here today and hope that you have taken away some tidbits that will help you go away, connect with your big audacious dream, and make that massive impact in the world that you are dying to make. If you liked today's episode, please like it, share it. Think of one person that you think would also like it and send it on over to them. Let's get this out there and more moms feeling like themselves, inspired, dreaming big, and out there being them. Please do head on over to find me on Facebook with Permission to Be Human, or Instagram, or you can even pop me an email and say hello at permissiontobehumanalways@gmail.com. Say hello and let me know that you listened. What did you like about it? I would love to hear. If you didn't like it, I don't really want to know. Just kidding. You can share that if you want. I would love to know, however, who you are. Let's connect. Let's find out what you want more of. Yes, this is a newer podcast, so I want to hear from you and I want to make it what would be useful to you. As always, remember that you have permission to dream big, permission to feel big, and permission to be you. You have complete and full permission to be human. For real, you do.